Greetings, students. My name is Professor Jenny McClendon, and I'll be your guide through Philosophy 51. Philosophy 51 is a survey of philosophy from the pre-Socratics to the postmodern era. Our textbook is Dr. James L. Christian's Philosophy and Introduction into the Art of Wondering, and this textbook takes you deep into the history of philosophy, deep into the meaning of philosophy, and it's probably one of the best textbooks that I've ever worked with. There are two textbooks that I teach from as often as possible, and that's this textbook and the textbook that I use for the Old Testament as literature, which is the Old Testament Story by John Tulloch. Anyway, I can't say enough about good sources. I can't say enough about a good textbook, and I inherited this textbook from a colleague with a lot of years of experience. When you get out into the world, I recommend that you avail yourself of a colleague with a lot of years of experience. Anyway, I'd like to go ahead and talk a little bit more about the assignment that I have you on. But students, I'd also like you to log into the course management system, click on the syllabus, and read the syllabus a couple of times. And I'd like students to participate in the scavenger hunt as soon as possible. Go ahead and go to the next slide. In this slide, you'll notice that I have that centerpiece of Raphael's The School of Athens. This is a picture of Plato pointing toward the heavens. Plato delves into metaphysics, and we'll be talking more about this. I'd like students to participate in a web quest where they search for 3 scholarly websites that deal with philosophy. This part of the assignment is twofold. I'd like students to begin to learn how to differentiate good sources from bad sources. And although I took this picture of Plato off of Wikipedia, Wikipedia is not a good source academically. It's a great source for getting open source material like pictures of Plato that should probably be copywritten. Wikipedia breaks that up for us, but it's not a good source to use in a bibliography. From the web quest, I'd like students to prepare a one-page, one-minute paragraph that shares your favorite definition of philosophy. Tell us why this definition matters to you, why this definition jumped out at you. And then I'd like you to deconstruct each other's work. I'd like you to deconstruct your own work. For example, you could say something like, I like this definition of philosophy. However, I notice that it's also limited, but I like it for the following reasons nevertheless. Students should post early and share often. In addition to the web quest, I'd like students to read chapter 1 of the textbook. This is an excellent chapter. You're going to be introduced to some of the most remarkable people in philosophy. Most notably, you're going to be introduced to Marcus Aurelius, Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. But you'll also be talking about Thales. You'll be introduced to Albert Camus. I've added a link to this because if you wanted to purchase the book electronically, it's available and it's a lot cheaper. The problem with purchasing the book electronically is it expires after a year, and so you may not want to do that if you're going on in philosophy. If you're going on in philosophy, you probably want a hard copy of this book because the source list in the back of the book is invaluable. Finally, I'd like students to participate in the 3 discussion questions and the epic question. I've listed the epic question here first. The reason that I've listed the epic question here first is because I really want students to take this question seriously and be looking for this question. When somebody makes an absolute statement, you want to ask: can anything really be absolute? Can there be a theory that covers all questions? Is there a source for all answers? Why or why not? The next question is: did Aristotle's antinomianism reject Plato's metaphysics? Why or why not? You'll know more about that when you go through the textbook. Is all knowledge sensory? Is it all something that we can touch? And should we always think and speak clearly? Number 4, should we always think and speak clearly? Or is there a certain clarity that comes in disclarity? And what I'm leading toward there is chaos theory. Is there something in not being clear that produces possibilities that we weren't previously taking seriously? Okay, I'd like students to post early and post often to the discussion boards, but keep that epic question at the front of your neocortex. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the course.